Today's video, we're going to do something a little bit different because I did the podcast voiceover on the last video. You guys seem to really like that, so I brought Blake in with me, and we've been talking about doing this for a little while, doing like a recap of the sidewalks we did last year, where we did the entire block of sidewalks, and just kind of answering some of your questions that we get a lot on the channel. And then I get to drag Blake along with me here. He's across the table from me.
What's going on, guys? It's good to be here. I'm excited to get to pick at you and kind of answer some of the questions and relive it from this side of it, because it was a very painful experience when we were out there doing the work. And so now it's a little more enjoyable to actually watch it back.
Yeah, for sure, because the days being out there, man, they started out cool because we would have sweatshirts on whenever we got there, and then little by little you'd see us shed the sweatshirts and the temp would warm up. But if you guys don't remember, if you hadn't checked out this video, we were just kind of driving around and we saw the sidewalk that you actually see behind me. It's on the left side of the screen, that's completely covered in grass. And originally Blake went and looked at it and he didn't think there was a sidewalk under it.
Yeah, I thought they had done like some utility work or something, and they had just tore it up, ran their utilities, and then that's what was left. I actually went by like 2 or 3 times, and then finally we decided, like, let's go take a closer look. And
yeah, we actually stopped and got out of the truck and like walked over there, and I was kicking it and figured out there was a sidewalk under there. So that's whenever Blake walked up there and knocked on the door and talked to the people that I think they were just renting that house, if I remember right.
Yeah, so there's a private school just around the corner that my son goes to, and that's how I saw it, was dropping him off at school, and when I would leave, it would catch my eye. When you start doing this, every time you see something like that, it catches your eye now. And so that's what it kind of drew the attention to it. But she was, I believe, a teacher there at the school, and so it was neat. Their grandkids had since moved in with them. They're going to be attending the school and the church and all that. And so, we were able to give back. Yeah, like you said, they are renting, but, they're commuting, like 2 or 3 blocks over to the school. We saw the kids walking, back and forth a couple times, and it was just kind of neat to get to know them as we started on this corner property. And we probably connected more with these people than we did anybody else on the block.
Yeah, the people across the street actually own 2 rental properties.
Oh, yeah,
and
I
they did
remember that.
come out and like gave us some drinks, and they were pretty nice about it and were friendly to us and thankful for what we did.
Right.
They told us they were going to keep up with it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Blake and I have been by there. And,
yeah, I don't know. It's better than it was last year.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten this bad, but
it's definitely not.
I don't feel like
manicured.
they've taken care of it. How does that make you feel? Because I know that's a question I get a lot from people, is like, how do you feel if somebody doesn't take care of the property after you clean it up?
I look at it 2 ways. So, like, one is they probably don't have the means to do it anyways, or it wouldn't get bad in the first place. And so they probably don't have the means to keep up with it. And so for that reason, like, I'm good with it. But then the other part of me is like, this is a lot of labor, and, we don't charge anything. These are free cleanups. And it's like, man, it'd really be nice if we were able to come back a year from now and it look as good as it did the day we left, and to know that they really appreciated it and all that. And I know you and I both know, especially when we get to know these people and get to know their story and stuff, that, if we know that they don't have a way of doing it, then we've gone back several times and just done it for them. And we've talked about it, even going back here and, doing some stuff on this sidewalk just to help maintain it. And that may be something we have to do. But I try not to get frustrated, because, I have to look at it from that perspective.
Yeah, the couple times I've been by there, honestly, I got kind of frustrated with it, because what I'm doing, what you guys are watching right now, this was a lot of work. I mean, that was back-breaking hard work, and there was no other way to get all that grass and dirt off of that sidewalk than to literally scrape it up with a shovel and dig it all out.
Yeah, I lucked out. I was doing the yard. I think you just didn't finish edging one section. You didn't want to go grab the weed eater, so you're like, hey, come do this real quick. But
help me out.
Yeah, I lucked out. I was doing the yard at this house, so we kind of took turns. I would do a yard, and you'd do the sidewalk, and I'd do the sidewalk, you do the yard, and we were kind of flipping back and forth like that.
Yeah, and you have a video on your channel of you doing this yard.
Yep.
With me in the background doing the sidewalk.
Right. Yeah, I get a lot of comments on that too, like people just watching that perspective of it, and so it was kind of a neat way for us to both film on this property and give people two different perspectives. In the backyard, I actually found a sidewalk as well.
I forgot
really
about
pieced
that.
together
It was
one.
like it was like bricks and stuff, just kind of stuck in the ground.
Yep. So.
I know one of the big questions I get all the time. That's another thing Blake and I talked about with this video is we want to answer a whole lot of you guys' questions that you left in the comments, and we get tons of comments about these barrels.
Right, the square barrels.
They're different than anything else you see. We're actually using one as a cone back there, just kind of protecting us from all the cars coming by. But these are called the square barrel. You can find them at squarebarrel.com, I believe is their website. They're really good people. We met the
awesome
owners.
People.
They own a landscaping company. They saw something that they needed for their landscaping company, and they invented it and designed it and started building them. I know last time I checked, they're really hard to get.
Yeah, I've been following them on Instagram. I've seen that they've been, they've finally gotten to some of the stores and stuff like that. I know shipping's the biggest issue, with that product. But they are, kind of expanding their product into, I think they're up in like the Northeast, somewhere in that area.
I can't remember exactly.
And so, but I did see where they've got into several like mower, dealerships and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I know there for a while he would just tell people, to kind of contact him, and he would let you know if there was a dealer around you, and if there's not a dealer around you, he would get your dealer's name, and then he would actually call them and try to get square barrels in their shop so that you could go purchase one from their shop.
Yeah, he's not scared to do the legwork at all, so
yeah,
definitely see that.
And that's one reason I don't mind supporting them, because they don't pay us at all. They don't, sponsor us in any way.
Yeah, we bought these at GIE.
Yeah,
so
yeah, we did.
There in
Blake
Louisville.
Paid for
'em. But it was a good investment. It was a good move for us. One, they draw attention. Two, they you can use it as a cone. But they're super useful. And I like that square edge. You flip it down on its edge a lot in this video and just kind of shovel it into it. Shove it into it. I think that's a great way to do it, but they hold a lot. It's more than you and I could pick up sometimes when we get it fully mounted up.
Yeah, I think later in the video you actually see us load them onto the front of the mower, and then we actually use the mower to get them into the back of the box truck because they were so heavy. Yeah. We could just barely pick them up and get them onto the mower.
Got to work smarter, not harder.
But yeah, this was definitely some rough sidewalks, and I really don't think this was the hardest day for me because it was kind of
still new, exciting,
rewarding,
and all that.
And I was excited about doing the video and being able to help these people. Yeah, and I think that made it easier. And then
absolutely.
One of the questions I kept getting on this video is how long did this actually take? Because we speed the video up, and it's sometimes 2 or 4 times the speed of reality. So I get lots of questions like, did y'all go and do other things after this, or was this it? Were you done for the day? And I was done for the day, I can tell you that.
Physically, and there wasn't much time left. This took all day long. I remember I had to go somewhere. Oh no, you did. You had something going on. We had to leave. And so we got this front and part of the side done, and we ended up having to come back, and we'll get to see that, here in a minute.
Yeah, this was 6 hours. I kind of went back and looked at my notes, and it was 6 hours is what we spent on the first day doing this property.
Right. That's crazy. Another question I've seen a lot in the comments is asking about the thing on the end of your weed eater.
Oh, yeah, I get that question tons. So that is called the ECHO Pro. Honestly, whenever I started lawn care, hold on, jump in real quick. This is where I was talking about we were using the mower. Because that thing was so heavy that day.
Just keep it off the exhaust.
Yeah, for real.
And
That's
don't
why
want
it was
to melt
pushed to one side. But, that thing is called the ECHO Pro. And honestly, whenever I started lawn care, I couldn't edge. I mean, it was just something I really couldn't do. And I could not afford to buy a stick edger. So I was trying to figure out how could I learn to edge. And that's what the ECHO Pro is. It's really training wheels to learn to edge. And I started using it. I can edge without it now. I don't have to have it, but I've used it for so long now that I just enjoy having it on there because it also acts kind of like a mower. So it's dome shaped, and it actually recirculates the grass underneath it just like a mower does whenever you're flat weed eating. So it chops up all that stuff a little finer than just an open weed eater.
I gotcha. Yeah, and I've done a video on it on my channel because I liked it too. The thing I liked about it is it also works as like a guard, so you're not tearing up fence posts and, especially around wooden or privacy fences. But having that little plastic edge to just kind of fit right down into the edge of the sidewalk, it's really nice because it keeps you on track there.
Right.
So this is when we rounded the corner. And so when we set off to do this, I had the crazy idea to like challenge us. I'm all about challenging us and like making things a competition between the two of us. And that's my thing, to just kind of keep the momentum going and keep things exciting.
That's why you see rock, paper, scissors a lot on our channel or Blake's channel.
Yeah. And this one, it was like, hey man, there's over a city block of sidewalk. And let's do it. It's a big corner lot. This one caught our eye, but like it's pretty nasty all the way down. So, what do you think? And yeah, let's do it. And so, like you said,
what you're not seeing in the background is Blake has gone from house to house to house, talking to everybody on the entire block, telling them, hey, we're going to be doing all this, and it's going to take a while. It's going to take a couple trips, but we're going to get it all done. And I don't think he really told me about it until after the fact. But
right. Yeah. That's why it took me 6 hours to mow a yard. It's because I was knocking on doors, talking to neighbors.
Every time you saw a neighbor outside, he'd run off down the road to go find somebody.
Yep.
It looks like you actually have found your sidewalk now.
Yep.
I saw you go by with a couple shovels.
Yeah, that was neat to find that there. I wish it would have been a little better put together, but it was still really neat because I honestly had no clue that it was in there.
Yeah, it just looked like yard.
Yeah, and you see me on the phone a lot too. So while we're doing this, I'm running crews.
Bring that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, that's another comment I see a lot. Not a question, but hey, why's that dude on his phone all the time?
Yeah, he does get a lot of. I won't say hate, but just a lot of comments about Blake being on the phone. I try to edit it out just out of respect for Blake, but sometimes it's impossible. Blake runs a huge company, so you got how many employees now?
We're running like 12 employees, servicing over 400 clients a week. Yeah, 32 guys is where we.
So you downsize some, but Blake runs a big company, so they're constantly calling him, making sure. And, Blake's still donating his time to go out and do this stuff, while his crews are out there. So he does have to deal with things that I don't have to deal with because I'm a solo guy. I don't have anybody out, working while I'm out doing this. And I guess you could say that makes my life a little easier.
Right. Yeah. Or it gives you a lot of voicemails to have to call back later if you choose to.
I don't answer my phone anytime. At this point. But let's see. What's another question we get a lot of? Are we related? We get that a lot. Are we brothers? Are we related? Are we twins?
Yeah, we make the joke that his parents put me up for adoption, but no, we are not related at all. So we actually met because of YouTube and our businesses and all that, and just kind of hit it off. And now we do videos together and work together, have some side businesses together, and it's just kind of, God had a plan with all of that, and it's been neat to kind of see, where it took off from, even though Kevin wouldn't call me back because I had my secretary call him, like he likes to say.
Sorry, Justin, if you're listening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do get ribbed pretty hard for that because I did not call Blake back the first couple of times he called, and I mean I really don't have any excuse other than I just didn't do it.
Right. No, it's all good. I like to give you a hard time about it, but
he found me at GIE, which is a big conference we all go to that is all about lawn care. And
what are they calling it this year?
Equip Expo.
Yeah, it'll be like the third week of October.
Right.
So they're in Louisville, Kentucky.
And so he found me at what was called the GIE at that time, and didn't give me much choice but to talk to him and shake his hand. And
right, yeah. I mean, I figure you meet somebody face to face, they're most time, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to just ignore you and walk off. So.
Right. Man, we made it to the end of day one.
Yeah, it's there's
It's
good
a
transformation.
Huge transformation.
And I hate that the sidewalk was, it's pretty old. It wasn't very thick when it was put in, and so we did have some areas that had seen a lot of abuse over the years that had kind of crumbled and broken up. And I would love to see the city come in and kind of rehab some of these now.
Yeah,
and that was a comment we had a lot.
Another comment I got a lot was talking about that wall.
Right.
And, like, could we come back and power wash it?
Right.
Honestly, I would be scared to power wash that wall because there were a couple areas that are crumbling. I have no clue how many years old that wall is. And, I mean, you can see it right there on your left.
Right. You would have to do, like, a soft
apart.
wash, something like that on it, and then you'd have to do some major grout repair.
Yeah.
Some areas are a complete veneer.
So that's the biggest reason, and I got lots of comments about power washing that wall, and it makes me nervous because it's like I don't want to get out there, start power washing it, and start having chunks fall.
It's
out
one
of
thing
it.
to do it when you're getting paid,
right?
And then to say, okay, this is a risk I'm going to take for the reward, and I have insurance just in case something goes bad.
Right.
It's another thing to go out here and do somebody, a service for free, and then to do something like that happen and then get held accountable for having to go back and fix it.
And chances are our insurance wouldn't cover it because we were out there doing it for free.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know how we would go about that. But so this is the section that was left on that corner. It goes all the way over to actually a property, commercial property, one of the very few that me and my crew maintain, is against the backside of this property on the sidewalk. But
I forgot about this part. Blake's making fun of me because my weed eater broke. Usually Blake's the one that his weed eater breaks constantly.
Golly,
and he's constantly having to work on a weed eater.
It's nonstop. I mean, I really feel like Kevin sabotages my equipment in the truck because my equipment stays with Kevin a lot of times. And I think he just sabotages me before we get started on a job so he can get a good laugh.
Oh, no, he's on to me.
Yeah, I knew it was something because, golly, how do you have that much bad luck out of a weed eater?
So it's like the moment he saw me having trouble, which it wasn't even trouble. It was just literally I ran out of string.
Right.
I mean, anytime we're weed eating onto this concrete the way I am, we're just burning through that string. Yeah. That's probably one of the things that is the most expensive with doing these jobs is like the weed eater string that we just burn through constantly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's a roll of weed eater strings, $40-$50 now.
Yeah. What kind do we use?
This is all Green Touch weed eater string.
Okay. Is it like the Piranha or Samurai?
Yeah, I think it's either the Piranha or the Samurai. I can't remember which one it is.
Because I get that question a lot too, asking me what kind of line that I'm using.
I mean, it's great weed eater string. I like it, but I don't think it matters when you're doing what we're doing right here.
Right.
It doesn't matter what weed eater string you have. You're going to burn through it.
Yeah.
Because anytime you're putting it against that concrete like that.
Right. Yeah, when we're doing like those big ditches and stuff like that, where it's really tall, I like having that thicker, heavier line, that, then what is it, 0.105?
Yeah, I think so. I don't.
Yeah, because a lot of, I used to use like the 0.095 and stuff like that, and it just, you just burn through it so quickly. And so having these weed eaters with a little extra power, I'm running the ECHO, what is it, 3020 or something like that, and then with that heavier line, it's eating right through it. So I really like it.
But yeah, this was day 2, like Blake was saying, and it went pretty good. I mean, it was kind of unfortunate that I wasn't able to finish this whole side the time before. We had daylight left, like Blake was saying earlier. I had to leave. I'm trying to remember what I had going on, but I had something going on that I had to be back in the town that I live in, and I live about 45 minutes away. Still had to take Blake, drop him off at the shop and all that. So it was kind of unfortunate I couldn't just get all this done in one day. And I think on this day, you were actually doing the house next door. And while I was finishing this up.
Right. Yeah, I remember. I love this part because you get it all blown off and you get it all done, and you miss the section between the corner and the other sidewalk.
And I'm pretty sure you brought that to my attention too.
Oh yeah,
after I got done. And in the original video, there was like an outro talking about it, and then you see me cleaning it all up. I edited all that out of here. I did leave the final intro, the final intro I left in this video just so we could kind of laugh at me, because I was so spent at that point of doing sidewalks.
Right. Yeah, so this is day 2. So I'm rolling on like day 2 myself. I did the front yard. I'm doing the other sidewalk, and we should probably do a recap on that too. You know, let people kind of see that, or maybe even throw it all together and speed it up so they can see the entire city block at once. If you guys want to see something like that, leave it in the comments down below. We'd love to get your feedback.
And if you have questions, leave those in there too. And then, you know, if we do the next video, recapping Blake's, then we'll answer a lot of those questions in that video. This
is probably my favorite angle that we were able to do, having these terraced yards with the sidewalk. I really liked having this angle, and I had a lot of people even say that, you know, from the camera.
Yeah, just that top-down kind of angle is pretty cool.
It gives you a different perspective than what we're typically able to do. You know, those tripods are usually only like 4-5 feet tall at best.
Right.
So.
I'm trying to think of, there was another question I had on one of these videos that was talking about, you know, how does this happen? You know, how does the sidewalk get that much dirt on it? How does it have all that grass growing on it? And honestly, it comes down to, you know, the concrete will crack over time. The grass starts growing up between the cracks. The grass then catches dirt that the wind's blowing or leaves, anything like that. It all just starts to break down. And if that's not maintained over time, then it builds up like this. And eventually it would cover the entire concrete sidewalk like you saw up at the corner on the first video.
Yep. Yeah, I have a lot of people ask me, too, about the clippings, like not, you know, why didn't you bag this or why didn't you do this? And what people don't see a lot of times is we don't show in every video, but we typically, before our after shots, we'll go blow the entire property out. You know, trash and clippings and all that, and we'll scoop it up. I did a video on my channel just showing all of the piles of debris from that one sidewalk cleanup we did. You know, it was like 10 piles, which filled up my 16-foot lawn trailer. And, you know, fortunately today, you know, this day, we had your walker there.
Right. Yeah, we haven't had it with us lately just because we have switched over to a trailer that we're using for a lot of our cleanups, our free cleanups.
The main reason so we have AC and we can use your truck.
Honestly, that and the fact that I just don't feel like driving that big old box truck all the way to Hot Springs every day.
Yeah.
That we're going to do this stuff. So, and the box truck does not have AC in it. So it is nice here lately to have the pickup truck and the trailer and just be able to do it that way. But it does cause a little bit more work because we don't have a bagger.
Yeah, I think we had like 2 weeks straight of in the upper 90s, over 100 degrees. And out of the last 8 weeks, we've only had a handful of days, you know, in the 80s. Everything else has been in the upper 90s and hundreds.
There's your spot where I forgot the corner.
See, he forgot it. We got it all cleaned up and had to come back.
And what a lot of people didn't notice is like right there, I thought I had got all the way to the edge.
Really?
Yeah. And if you look at the seam of the concrete, I didn't actually get there to the edge.
Oh, well, yeah, I see it. It's a couple inches off right there.
Yeah, yep. I'm off. And I noticed it, and I'm like, do I really want to fix this?
Do you?
Because I don't think I fixed it on video, but I'm pretty sure I fixed it before I shot
You could take the after shot?
The after shot,
It's that conviction when you go up there and you're like,
yeah, see, look, I actually already fixed it. So right there in that shot, you can see it.
That's funny.
So it was just like I noticed it, and I'm like, man, I already did all that. Now I'm going to do it again.
Right. If I hurry, maybe Blake won't see. But no, it really finished it off. I mean, that little triangle piece of grass, I feel like, you know, really looks good right there in that corner. But you got this one done, and now we are, you know, people don't see it, but you helped me with 2 other days of sidewalks.
Right.
And here we go.
Today we are back on the insane sidewalk. I have to tell you, at this point, I never really want to ever see a sidewalk ever again. But we're gonna get this finished up. We got Blake down here. He's working towards me. I'm working towards him. We're gonna get the rest of this block done. So that'll get all the way down this street, around the corner, and down at the end. At the end is the one that you guys watched. That was the insane sidewalk video where I dug up that whole sidewalk That's the one all the way at the other end. So I'm actually on the other end of the block working that way. I know you guys have enjoyed these videos, and it's awesome how many of you guys have watched them, and I truly appreciate it. You watching the videos is what keeps us going. It's what pushes the video on YouTube and gets us out there to more people, which allows us to keep coming back and doing these things, helping other people. And that's what we want to do, is keep giving back. So I appreciate you guys. Enjoy this video. I was so spent that day. I remember getting there to the job site that morning, and like I wasn't even gonna make a video.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
I was done. I was like, I'll just help you. I'll film some. We can put a video on your channel, and I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, you're like, we'll just do this section. Let's not film it, and let's just do it. And let's get done. Get out of here.
Pictures. I was so spent, and I'm gonna tell a little behind the scenes. So here in a minute, at some point in this video, I don't know exactly where it's at, I'm weed eating, and I see a police car go by.
Right.
And I know it's caught on camera that the police car goes by. And I'm like, hey, that'd make a cool thumbnail. You know, to have a police car in the background while I'm doing this overgrown cleanup. I was like, it'll make a really good thumbnail. Then I was ready to film, because it was like, it changed my whole attitude. And it's funny how that feels, because it's like, you know, there's so much behind the scenes that goes on with YouTube, because we want to go out and help these people. YouTube is how we get paid to go out and help these people. So we need these videos to do good so that we can keep going out and helping people and be able to do this work for free. So it's like, you got to figure out good thumbnail.
There went the cop car.
Did it go by?
Yeah, right there. You looked at the camera. You looked at it for a second. Yeah, just for a second.
I was making sure the camera was on me at that point to make sure I had the shot.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, that's... You know, titles, thumbnails, all these things go into making sure that, you know, or hoping that it catches your guys' eyes and that you click on the video and want to watch it, because we know we need you to watch it so that we can keep going out and helping people.
Yeah, but I think one thing about this section is, because it wasn't very bad. I remember you saying that like a couple times, like, man, it's not even that bad, you know, but you did a lot of shoveling there.
Yeah.
I mean, every single one of those expansion joints between the concrete, you know, where it had grass growing, it was just really, you know, it was a lot of shoveling to get it all out of there. And as you use the edger, I fell in love with the little foot edger, and everybody made fun of me for it. Like, what is this thing? And it's like, well, it's started out as the only thing in Kevin's truck that it was available to use, so I could keep filming while he was filming. And it turned into, well, I'm just going to keep using it because I think some people are, you know, really frustrated with me. And so
it's still in the truck.
Yeah.
He hasn't used it in a while, but it's still in the truck.
Luckily, we haven't done any bad sidewalks, and so
I remember being so nervous that car was right there.
Yeah.
Because that was a really nice car, and I was weed eating all through there, and I was so worried that car was going to get nailed with a rock.
So, well, luckily it didn't, because I don't think we had to.
No, we didn't have to pay for any windows that day. But, yeah, it definitely turned out to be more than I expected. I know it was nice having that little yard right there to the right. I don't even know whose yard that was, to be honest. There's actually a business to the left of the screen right now. And I think it was actually part of their business.
Yeah, I think so.
But I ended up just blowing a whole bunch of stuff into that and using the walker to clean all that up and just mowing that whole yard section for them.
Yeah, it's a lot easier when you can blow it over onto grass and then mow it and suck it up than it is to try to clean it up on concrete or asphalt. It just seems like it's such a chore, you know, to suck it up with that machine, or even, you know, any machine at that point. But you know, this one here, it really cleaned up good. And like you said, I mean, I remember going over there to you, and like your whole persona, attitude, like completely changed. Totally. And you were excited about it again. It's like, okay, awesome. We're going to finish this thing strong. And, you know, something we've always talked about, which we've never been able to get a hold of the people, is in that background, that sidewalk, like that whole yard is washed over that retaining wall over the sidewalk. It is the worst I've ever seen. We'd have to have my excavator, dump truck, like we would haul off yards and yards of dirt But we just can't get a hold of those people. We've been by there several times, tried to look up their, contact info, and just haven't had any luck. But that would be an awesome one to do.
Yeah, I remember you putting that in your video, just asking people, hey, do y'all want to see this? And, like, we had tons of comments of people wanting to see that.
Yeah.
But it's just like, because it's coming over their retaining wall, and we don't know what's going to happen when we excavate out all that dirt. We really need to talk to them because, the retaining wall is theirs. It's not the city's.
Right. The sidewalk's
the city's. Yeah. So we could technically clean up the sidewalk. They can't do anything about it, but we could do some damage to their wall trying to clean up the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So it's kind
of we'll have a big mound of dirt and a drop-off.
Right.
In that little section of grass between the wall and the sidewalk, which is going to look terrible.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to expose the wall at the same time.
It would definitely be better just to fix the that wall for them. But whenever you get into building walls, you're talking a lot of expense, a lot of manpower.
Thousands of dollars to do that.
It would be very difficult for us to go in and do something like that for free.
Right.
And not, be able to.
We would need a lot of views.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, there's that walker. I really like them. I run the walker, a machine similar to it, the ExMark Navigators, and I love them.
Yeah, my walker is something I really like. I bought that thing used because I could not afford a brand new one. They're super, super expensive.
Yeah,
and
I don't know what they are now. Last one I bought was after my discount was still 14 something. They're typically 16,000, and that's if you don't get the hydraulic dump and stuff like that.
Yeah, mine actually has the hydraulic dump. Well, it's an electric dump. I love that because I can just back right into that box truck, and I just put a tarp down and I dump right onto that tarp, and at the end of the day, I just slide the whole tarp out. That's another question I get all the time. What do you do with all the clippings? How do you get it in the truck? How do you get it out of the truck? So
a tarp,
it's just a
manpower.
tarp, and I actually hook the tarp to the mower and use the mower to pull all the grass out at the end of the day.
So you have to be careful getting stuff out of his truck, okay? One time we trimmed some limbs at a job, and as I was pulling the limbs out, it was, kind of bent back and tucked behind the sidewall, and it popped me right in the eye. And that's probably some of the worst pain I'd ever felt, was getting popped in the eye like that. And
I thought your eye was gone that day.
Took me down quick.
Because Blake hit the ground. I mean, all of a sudden, we're just, unloading stuff, and all of a sudden I see Blake scream and fall to the ground.
I'll see if I can get you a picture of it. But, yeah, it was brutal. So I was in a lot of pain there. And, what was bad is, when I stuck my hand up there and I had some blood, I was completely black. I couldn't see anything. I had to have some help get back to the up to the office, into the bathroom, try to get my hands clean and stuff to even do anything. But then I had some blood on my hand, and I'm like, well, that's not good.
Right.
So, not at all. But
please don't let my eye be gone.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what stinks is I had safety glasses. They were just on my head and not wearing them. I wore them to do the work and to trim all the limbs. I just didn't think about it when I unloaded. But I promise you this, I've unloaded a trailer probably 10 times since then, and I've worn them every single time. So learn the hard way.
It goes back to that question we get all the time of why aren't you wearing a mask? Why aren't you wearing gloves?
Yeah.
I
wear gloves. You don't wear gloves a whole lot.
I don't. And it's just because I just don't enjoy wearing gloves. I lose my dexterity with that. And I try to put them on when we're doing stuff that's like limbs and things like that, but I just don't enjoy them.
Yeah. You wear those neck gaiters a lot, so you wear a mask a whole lot better than I do.
Yeah, I'm not the best at it, though.
It's easier in the fall.
Safety glasses wise, I wear the glasses that I'm wearing are shatterproof. They are safety glasses. They just don't have the side guards on them.
Yeah, those are pretty cool glasses. Are those the Toros?
Yeah, these are the Toros.
So, yeah, I remember we shot a video for this, and if you haven't seen it, it's kind of like a spoof advertisement for them. But it's pretty awesome. We end up taking this thing every piece of equipment, machinery we can find to try to destroy them.
Well, the backstory is they're supposed to be indestructible. Like that's what they promote on their website is, hey, we have indestructible glasses. We did work with them for a little bit.
So you were like, okay, let's figure out how indestructible
Well, the
they
first
are.
pair I bought, I paid for. I just bought them, and I was like, I want to see how indestructible these are. I'll make a video, and maybe if it does good, I can work with this company, and they could sponsor a video.
Right.
And they kind of sponsored a little bit with some glasses. I think we've gotten like 5 or 6 pairs of glasses. I've given Blake a couple. And that's really all that ever came of it. But that video is pretty cool. I mean, we end up destroying the undestroyable glasses, though.
Oh yeah, I mean we cheated.
Yeah,
but yeah,
majorly.
We did a skid steer, we did a mower, we did a dump truck, an excavator. Like we went through everything. And I was like, I think I've got something, Kevin. I think I've got a way to destroy these things. And so I had a thing called a jumping jack, which is a compactor that's made for footings and retaining walls. And it bounces, and it's got a lot of pressure to it. And so he set his glasses out there, and I brought that thing out of the shop, just and we just
annihilated them.
Yeah, they were done. And I felt a little guilty, but we figured out what, how well they would do. And I mean, the average person would never destroy these things.
Right.
So.
The other thing that we use safety wise is we do actually wear earplugs.
Yeah, even though people think we don't.
Yeah,
they always say that.
They look like headphones, but they are actually OSHA approved headphones that protect our ears. They are called ISO tunes. We actually do have a deal with them. There is a link down below in the description if you want to check those out. That's exactly what we wear anytime. Pretty much anytime I'm working, I'm wearing those. I really like them just because I can listen to my music, but my ears are still protected.
I've got 4 kids. We just went on a road trip, and they were great in the car. I had them on the whole time. Yeah. The wife tried to talk to me a few times, and I was like, what? No, babe, hey, if you see this green thing in my ear, like, you've got to pull it out. Like, you've got to get my attention. I didn't hear a word you said.
So we're just kind of wrapping it up here. This is the last little pictures of that day. Blake was finishing up the other house. And, for a video that I really didn't want to shoot, it actually turned out well. But, guys, if you like this kind of content with the podcast kind of feel, Blake and I both talking, you enjoy this, let us know in the comments. We will continue to do these and make more of them. Till then, we appreciate it.
See you on the next one.